What's up, guys? Welcome to the Backwoods TV channel. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to hook up an amp on a sub to your vehicle or whatever. Basically, I sold my setup here actually about an hour ago, really. I had this planned out. Once I had sold that one, I was going to go get a whole nother setup. But I'm still missing one thing. Let me go ahead and get into everything that you're going to need. Got a SCAR SDR that I'm going to be hooking up in there. Don't actually have it just yet. I think I'll get it sometime tomorrow or something, or I hope I do anyways. Went to Walmart and got the other things that I would need. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need an amp. I got the Jensen 1200 watt amp. I've actually had like really good experiences with Jensen's. I've had two of their 600 watt amps, but wound up selling them once I wanted a little bit bigger of a setup, or I just kind of needed the money. One thing you're going to need is a wiring kit. So I got the 1200 watt kit. And then you're going to need some speaker wire. Really, it's best to get 14 gauge. I mean, this is as low as they go at Walmart. And really, it depends on what you're running. I mean, I ran those 312s off of like 16 gauge wire. So they say it matters, and it kind of does a little bit. But at the same time, you can run it. That's all that matters. Get your speaker wire, and then you're going to want the sub, which, like I said, I do not have at the moment, and I hope I will have it in the morning. I'll go on ahead and show you guys how to hook up the amp. Once I get the sub, I'll go on ahead and show you guys how to hook all that up. So that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so basically right now we've got our battery wire, got our remote wire, our RCA cables, and our ground wire. We got the speaker wire still in the car. Just a bunch of connects and everything else, but really I don't think I'm going to need these because the amp that I normally get, I didn't have to have those. Pretty much what we're going to do first is we're going to hook up the battery wire and we're going to run it to the trunk. So let's get that started. Alright, so you get to your battery. Normally everybody would be like, oh, you need to disconnect your negative terminal before you disconnect your positive. No, all you have to do right here is disconnect your positive terminal. So because that's where your power is going to be run to. So you disconnect this one first and put all of it on, and then you just kind of run it from here down. Now they say there is a firewall that you can break on here, but I have yet to find it on this car. So normally what I do is whenever I'm running it, I'll just kind of run it down here, kind of see if I can tuck everything under, and then just run it all down through here, and then I'll kind of tuck it in the doorway. Surprisingly, it does not pinch it. Don't know how. But yeah, let's go on ahead and pop this terminal off. Alright, so now basically, I think I kind of skipped a step, but you're going to want to put your battery on there and put the bolts back on and tighten it up. And then you're going to want to run it from there to wherever you're running your amp to, so I will do that now. Alright, so we've got that securely on there. Now we're going to take this, run it all the way to the trunk back here, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys whenever this is done. If you don't know what I'm doing, I don't think I said this earlier, but kind of help you look a little bit neater. Trying to hide a lot of this wire, tuck it under and make it look all pretty. So we got the battery wire ran to the trunk. Now I'm gonna go on ahead and try to see if I can hook up my ground. I'm gonna do it a little bit different than the way I normally do it. So let's get into it. So I'm going to kind of hook my ground right up here. I made sure that there were no wires or anything behind this. And I'm just going to run it out here and probably plant my amp right there. But I'm going to get some of these little screws and use my impact and just kind of drill them up in there. But you don't really have to do it this way. If you want to, look for a little bolt spot like right there. Something like that, you can. But considering the fact that I don't want to take all day to drill all this out, or just don't really want to clamp it down and see if I can widen it out some more, I'm just going to do it this way. So yeah, I'll get back with y'all when this is done. Alright, so we got this grounded off, and we're going to hook all this up in a minute. First I got to trim this up, and I've got to trim this, but before we do that, we're going to hook up the remote wire and my RCA cable. So I'll get back with y'all here in just a second. Alright, so basically, if you don't know what I'm doing now, is popping my dash out and basically go back doing that, I have to have my door open and everything else, and then just kind of go about popping it out. Gonna hook up the remote wire. I'm gonna hook up the RCA cables. Alright, so basically with your remote wire, just kind of ignore all these. These were wires that I wound up not using. Those aren't important though. Your two most important wires are your blue wires right here. This is what you're gonna want for wiring them up and everything. So basically, I got this little connector right here. I'm gonna put both of these wires in, crimp it down, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after I get done, because it's kind of hard doing this with one person. Alright, so you want to crimp that in, crimp that in. Yeah. What you do is grab your little things and just crimp it down. So yeah, kind of final result. Most people would electrical tape this off, but I'm more than likely not going to. So I didn't do it last time I wired them up, so it'll be fine the way it is. Really, be safe to go on ahead and wrap electrical tape around that, but you don't necessarily have to. But now we're gonna hook up the RCA cables, and this is probably the easiest part ever. I will now show you the hardest part about wiring subs. You take this one, you plug it into the red. And then you take this one and you plug it into the white. See? And yeah, now you're good to go from there. So now we're gonna run all this to the trunk, and yeah, go on ahead, put this back up, put my dash in, and we'll see what we get. Alright, so we got all the wires ran, and now we're gonna hook them all up to the amp. So basically, if you don't know, your remote wire is going to go right here. Your battery wire, which is your red wire, is going to go in this one. Your ground, which is this wire, is going to go right here. It's kind of pretty much self-explanatory, but I'll just show you what I mean. So first things first is we're going to hook up the remote wire. Try to get that battery wire away from this little Allen wrench, or whatever y'all want to call it. That's what I normally call it. And just crimp that down until you get it very tight. You know that wire's not going to come out. Tuck this under there. Next thing I'm going to hook up is my ground wire. Pretty much what you want to do with this, on a Jensen amp, like the one I've got now, you just kind of plug it in. You can't really put any connects on it. But the amp kit that you get does have like crimps and connects and everything else like that. But pretty much you just kind of cut the ends off of the wires and make sure that's not going to pop out easy. And there you go. There's your ground. Now comes your battery. And you want to be real careful and make sure that this wire and this wire do not touch, or you will have some sparks like that. It just does that sometimes whenever you know the battery wire is live. You want to really make sure you hang on to this too, because if you don't and that wire doesn't get hooked up well, it's not going to work right, and you're just, I don't know, it's not going to be a fun time. But yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at now. You got your battery wire hooked up, your remote wire, which is this blue one, and then your ground. Now we're going to hook the auxiliary cables up. Hardest part of the entire tutorial. Alright, so the amp is hooked up, everything's run. Let's see if we got some power, and if it did anything like it did my last amp, it should just pop on with the lights, because you have to manually turn those off. But let's see if we're getting some power. Turn this on, make sure the radio kicks on. Yep. Let's see if we got any power. Yep, we have power. Alright. So we got the amp run. Now I don't have the sub as of right now, but I will more than likely have it tomorrow, so I'll pick up on this video whenever we have it. Alright, y'all, well, it's currently a couple of days later. Was gonna try to finish this video Friday, but kind of got held up. Told you guys I didn't quite have the sub yet. I'm going ahead and show y'all what this bad boy looks like. This is the sub that I got. I got it on Marketplace, actually, from a guy I used to work with. This is a Scar SDR12, and I've already hooked it up and everything, but just see how it sounds. It does work fine. I only paid $100 for this thing, surprisingly. You can tell it comes in a ported box. This thing is not in perfect condition by any means. You can tell some of the carpet's kind of ripped up around it, but I'm not really bothered by all that. Let's go on ahead and show you guys how to hook one of these up. I did move the amp to the back seat. I'm probably gonna move it back to the trunk in a little while, but also got the speaker wire that we were needing. I've already kind of got them trimmed up and everything, ready to go. But let me show you about how to go about doing this. Basically, your wire with your negative wire is going to be the wire with the white line down it. That's going to go into this port, and then the one that's just plain is going to go into this port. It's basically what's known as bridging the amp. And that sub is already wired down to 1 ohm, so yeah, let me go on ahead and hook it up for you guys. Alright, so I got it hooked up to the amp, negative side and positive side. Like I said, this is basically how you bridge an amp. You know, basically what you mean by bridging it is kind of, I guess, double the power, really, I guess is the way to say it, but it'll just give it more power. And then your 2 wires down here, plug them into the amp. Negative, which is going to go into the black side, and then your plain cable or whatever is going to go into the red side for positive. And yeah, now you've got a full-on amp to your sub hookup. It should sound a little something like this. Yo. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys find it helpful or whatever. I hope this video kind of gets out and maybe helps some people who like stuff that maybe they didn't quite understand to start with. But actually, for 112 off of a 1200 watt amp, bumps, man. If you did enjoy this video, be sure you hit the like button down below. Let's see if we can get 10 likes off of this video. I'd just like to see if we could hit it or not. If you do like this channel, be sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I believe we're at 239 subscribers. Really close to 300. Let's see if we can hit 300. Really, I'm hoping for my goal of 1,000 by the end of the year. It is almost May, so I don't know if we're gonna get to that goal by the end of the year or not, but hey, it's worth a try. I would say turn on post notifications, but I don't know what's been going on with that recently, man. I've been trying everything to see whether I can fix it or see if I can get it turned on or not. Leave a comment down below if you did enjoy this video, or kind of let me know what kind of videos y'all like to see more. Like I said, I keep saying this at every time I make a car audio video. Trying to shy away from that a little bit. Honestly, I do like this 12 a lot better than I like them 312s. I mean, it hits, I think the 312s hit a little bit harder. But I mean, honestly, just as far as the room and everything, I'd rather have that Scar, because I'm supposed to be going on a trip sometime next month. And I got to take my car with me. I also got to load up 5 dogs in this car. But whenever I go on that trip, I'm going to take that amp and that box and just move it back to the trunk. I'll probably actually do that here in just a minute, just kind of get it off the back seat. Another thing, I know I have been talking about getting on a better upload schedule and everything, but just as far as that, I haven't been able to come up with anything, or I've just been really busy. So, yeah. Expect more videos coming to the channel. Don't really know when I can give you more of a give you a time limit on when I'm gonna get it done, but just know I am gonna have more videos coming to the channel. I do have another project that I am kind of working on, kind of seeing whether I can do it or not, kind of hesitant, but y'all stay tuned. But anyways, I'll see y'all on the next one.